Yo, Stephen, man, kick us off.
What's up, everybody? Stephen Cayaban, episode 5 of the Basic Buds podcast. You feel me? Bam.
Hey, that's what's up. Real quick before we start,
Yes, sir.
man, big tragedy that happened this week in the hip hop game, right? If you've been living
R.I.P.
under a rock and you don't know, a rapper by the name of Nipsey Hussle died in
Yes,
LA
yes,
in front of
yes.
his flagship store on Crenshaw and Slauson.
Yeah.
The craziest thing, it's not crazy, but everything that you hear about the guy, right? Like
Yeah.
from when he died, wasn't so much about the music, wasn't so much about even other things like gang affiliations or anything like that. Everybody talked about how good of a guy he was, how he brought shit back to where he came from.
Yeah.
Right. So he opened up a store in his old neighborhood, and that's where he ended up dying. And rest in peace. But everybody was saying like this feels different. We all remember when Tupac and Biggie died. It was about they focused a lot about the beef and how we needed to end the violence, and in Biggie's case maybe even like his lyrical content and Tupac and his thug life stuff. But this one does absolutely feels different just because they talk about how great of a guy he is. So what we thought, we were like, man, it made us feel that we have affinity to our city too.
Yeah.
Right. So we're back here. We're kicking this episode here in Oxnard, in one of the garages that we frequent
all the fucking time.
Yeah.
We're in this motherfucker
Growing
all
up,
the time.
I mean, there's years upon years of friendship between us, and there's a lot more people out there. But today we have Steve.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody?
Now,
First of all, let me touch on the Nipsey Hussle
Yeah,
thing.
go for it.
That dude's gonna be a martyr. Martyr, is that the word?
Martyr
of the community. And much respect to that guy. He seemed like a really cool cat.
did you listen to his music?
Not so much as I do now. I mean, just like everybody else, his album shot up like 3 million %.
How about you, Eugene? You listen to him?
I did that Victory Lap. Yeah.
Yeah. John?
Definitely a big Nipsey Hussle fan. Listening since Bullets Ain't Got No Names, his first mixtape.
Yeah, so a lot of people I talked to, either, I mean, I didn't talk to very many people that were avid fans.
Yeah.
But the true testament of a man's character is what he left behind, right? And like people are just talking, even like his music shot up.
Yeah,
3,000% for a reason.
Yeah.
It's not like he was Tupac, right? Tupac was already famous.
And it was
let-
inevitable he was gonna die.
He had an impact like Tupac. I'll tell you that, man.
Yeah,
the
but
guy,
he had
the guy
it-
was nice. He was the new generation of Tupac.
Yeah, I
We
think
come from a
everybody was too
time
young.
where, like,
Everybody's too young
it was the 90s.
to do that.
Yeah.
Everybody was way too young
Yeah.
to know about Biggie and Tupac and people our age.
Easy
Yeah,
you know what I mean? All these guys had like they had a big following already, and Nipsey was a little bit underground. He went independent.
all the
I think
way
he was
He's all
signed when he
independent.
died, but he which he was respected for too. He did it on the independent game, so that's why. We talked about it, and we're here right now. We got to bring it back to the hood, back to where we come from, and we have a strong affinity to our place.
Yeah, hell
Oxnard, California, a town 60 miles northwest of Los Angeles.
Yeah, man.
Man, but
I've been out of this city almost 15 years, and I still won't change my fucking area code on my cell phone.
On your phone?
My phone, it's still 805. Fuck all that shit.
Yeah, and a lot of people you talk to, oh man, what is that? Strawberry Fields?
Yeah, eat a
Back
dick.
in the day, like yo,
Eat a dick,
man,
motherfucker.
come on. Yeah, it's the pride is so thick. I mean, Anderson .Paak released an album called Oxnard.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Every boxer that came out of Oxnard represents hard.
Yeah,
we come
hard.
from fucking Boxnard. You know what I mean? So
top of the food chain.
yeah, we understand. The pride and joy. Maybe not very many people. Depending on where you come from. I know like. They have different neighborhoods out there, like San Diego and Long Beach. They're very proud and they represent pretty hard.
yeah.
But
We grind.
you know what I
down here,
mean?
though.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I think there's something to be said about us being close enough to LA where we felt maybe like we're an underdog growing
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
it's like the big brother. Like the LA and the Valley it's always the big brother
Yeah.
to everybody. And we're here, and I think people from Oxnard try to do it as big as possible so we could get that same thing.
Yeah, we're not known as this little podunk town.
Yeah, exactly.
know
You
what
gotta
I
go a
mean?
little bit harder.
No.
Yeah, your cousin actually. I reached out to him. Shout out to Bob. I was like, man, I was talking to him about the podcast and then you know Nipsey Hussle, and I was like, hey, you know what I mean? Like what you know, growing up, we have a strong sense of pride. And he was like, man, you know, in the '90s, prior to social media. Now social media brought a whole different freaking scope to the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're sharing stuff and people know what the hell you're up to.
Yeah.
But we're on the underground level back in the '90s. You had to identify yourself. Maybe you're a breakdancer, right? Like you guys,
True.
DJ like myself. You know what I mean? Or gangbanger, even a jock.
Yeah.
You know, and in every subject matter, you know, we try to go hard at it and try to be the best that we can be. So that's that underground mentality right there.
Yeah. It's always trying to make a name for ourselves because LA, the
That
Valley,
805 pride.
LA, the Valley always has it on lock. We're the underdogs up in here, but you know we make noises.
We didn't take kindly to tourists back in the day either.
No, we you knew exactly who the fuck we belong. This motherfucker. I don't even tripping on that shit.
Yeah.
Come to my neck of the woods, motherfucker.
And on that note, like with beef too, you had to be real careful because people trip out on me. Like if you know somebody gets crazy and maybe I don't go off the handle right away, it's because here in Oxnard, if you get live with somebody, you're bound to run into them again. It's not like LA, right? Like you're like, oh, okay, you might get to be whatever. You can get crazy in the car or whatever. But you have to be willing to go all the way.
Yeah,
you know, over here.
Yeah, we're going everybody.
Yeah.
I'm stepping on everybody. Your cousins, your aunt, everybody.
Yeah. And with that being said,
What's
you entered the fight game pretty early.
Yeah, a little bit late than most people, but now most kids start like a fucking
they have fucking kid
before
fucking schools.
schools and everything. So
My nephew Ace just hit his first jiu-jitsu tournament today.
Yeah.
He's like 5.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I
Shout out.
didn't do that till I was 27. So
we had fucking Flores brothers.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us where you come from in the fight game? Because you've been avid in a long time, and if you don't bring up how you think you started, I'm gonna bring it up because I've known you for a very long time. But I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right. So how I got started, like just everybody else, like like the Bruce Lee movies and stuff like that. But the one particular movie that got it to me was Best of the Best. It's the most underrated fucking movie you will ever fucking ever watch. No, let's just put it this way. Hey, let's just put it this way. It's so underground and so yeah, Oscar award winner or whatever.
Yeah,
Eric Robertson's motherfucker. They had motherfucking Darth Vader in this motherfucker. James Earl Jones in that motherfucker as the fat coach. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, this motherfucker?
He was a coach of the USA Taekwondo team.
You can't even see your feet, you fat motherfucker. You know what I'm
Easy.
saying?
Hey, no body shaming on here,
body
man.
shaming.
No body shaming.
But no, as a 12-year-old, like, are you freaking kidding me? That's the coach right there? No way. I can't even see his feet. Like, dude, I was still talking shit. Like,
Alex.
You know, Alex. The fuck? But in all honesty, it was really one of the movies that really transformed my life.
Oh, that was big.
Everybody was like, like who are a little bit older, like Enter the Dragon, so on and so forth. But for me, it was the best of the best because they worked on Taekwondo, as in kicking and stuff like that. And it was a really good storyline. So if you ever had the chance to watch it, rewatch it again, enjoy it. It's a great movie.
I would watch it and I would just
I love that
beat on my
movie.
brother.
I don't think that's on Netflix.
It's on somewhere. It's on
very
VHS.
obscure.
It's on
Yeah, you're
VHS
gonna have
somewhere.
to find it. You have to dig, bust out your fire stick.
Yeah, a
for
fire
that
stick
one.
or something. VHS.
All right, so then after Best of the Best.
After the best of the best, my father always used to always you're gonna go to karate, you're gonna go this and that, like
That's what it was,
Yeah,
man.
it was
karate.
karate.
It's either karate or like high school sport.
Yeah,
It's either
Red
you're
Bull.
boxing or you're wrestling.
Yeah. But then I got really interested in like after college, I went back home. I saw this karate place. It's like, what the hell? This guy's like awesome. I was like, oh my god! Like, it's like
was it traditional karate?
It is traditional karate from Okinawa. Okinawa.
Miyagi do.
Yeah,
that
I
Miyagi
had a
do
bow and
show.
shit. Like, my
Yeah.
God, I know how to count 1 through 10 in Japanese.
Yeah.
Height.
Yeah, all that stuff.
But it was good. It was a good foundation for much of the punching because it's very technical. But like I said, we're from Oxnard. We're not gonna do that kate shit all day.
You're gonna square
We're gonna
up.
get squared up. You know what I'm
fucking
saying?
shoot.
So I was in that for a little bit in karate. Then I moved out to LA. So
that's when it really started.
It got
turning
really
up,
cracking.
right?
It got really cracking over there.
Yeah.
You did karate in Oxnard, or what, Ventura?
Yeah,
From what I recall.
yeah.
What year was that?
Fuck, like 2002, 2003.
I thought you started earlier for whatever reason.
When I was in seventh, 8th grade, fucking, I was into karate, and then won a couple tournaments, me and my brother, and we handled. But then I was just like, you know what, dude, I don't want to do this anymore. And my dad's like, fucker.
All right, so before you go further, right? It was hot out here. Like I said, you had to self-identify yourselves, and there was a lot of fighting going on.
Yeah,
right.
yes.
I'm not gonna
Streets was
go.
active.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go too much
you
into
don't
that.
go too deep into that,
Yeah,
but
but
streets were active.
The streets were very active,
Yeah.
and man, I going to school with Stefan. He would come in, Monday morning. He'd be like, "Yeah, man, my record right now is like 22-0 on the streets."
that is the absolute truth. Right?
And so what
Absolute
I was
truth.
leading on earlier, I was like, I felt like he really wanted to become in the fight game, because what was happening is what people would classify today as bullying. Right, so fuckers would
sensitive.
pick on Stefan, right? And so like he would square up with them all the time, and he used to call me in my house. He's like, "Hey, Dan, hit me in the stomach as hard as you can."
that street training.
That is fair. That is true. That is very true.
Hey, Dan, I moved the couches over. Let's go at it for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And that was before any formal training. Now that I put
Yeah.
the years together.
But I think for as human beings, I think fighting is always innate in us. Our kids who are 6, who are like young, they punch and kick, and then I think that's one of the most basic human evolution that a person has is
Instinct
to
almost,
fight,
yeah.
to punch or kick without even no formal training.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
That's
I think
true.
I think that's one of the best things that a person can do is learn how to fight.
yeah.
Is always learn how to fight or pretend to know how to fight.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, man.
No, yeah.
But Stefan was so paranoid in high school. I got a story to say real quick. He used to walk around with like one of these cups, like a styrofoam cup with a lid. I was like, man, hey man, when you start drinking coffee, dude? He's like, nah, man. So it's a hot drink in case a fucking essay tries to get crazy with me. So
That is very true. No, that is very true. Because I'm like one of the most, like the only other Filipino in that motherfucker that was just like will not take shit. So I had homeboys, big old fucking essays and stuff like that. So like, fuck, how can I protect myself? I'm not gonna go to prison for shanking pools. So I'm just
You work smarter, not harder.
So
Yeah,
I got the hottest, like in the morning. I used to get the hottest cappuccino. Just to freaking throw at fools. Just
in
all day.
case. You
Throw
never
at
know.
fools. You just never know,
And by the time you make the first period, it's warmed up.
It's like
You
splash,
enjoy
splash.
it. You made it through.
Little pick me up.
Yeah, like I
you're on.
had my alibi already. Like he was attacking me, and my coffee spilled all over his face.
now he looks like the mask.
Now it looks like
No, okay.
Oops.
Yeah. So
Rocky, then this.
and nowadays, martial arts is like it's a sport. I don't think very many people come from where you come from anymore. Like not as much, right? So like, I got to defend myself, and I'm gonna check this out and try to become a good fighter because people mess with me all the time. It's more like, I saw UFC, MMA. This looks like a cool thing to get into, whatever, or whatnot.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is a real cool
No.
thing. After you see it, you're like, man,
Yeah.
I want to throw some punches.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like a sport.
Everybody that has ever tried like MMA or MMA is mixed martial arts, like any kind of like boxing or any kind of combat sports. They'll always
Break
look
it
at
down.
They'll always look at it like in the movies or like a game or something, like an event. Then they find out what it takes to get there.
takes.
What it fucking takes there is like you're gonna get your ass beat by bad motherfuckers that's way better than you.
Yeah.
And it takes that little niche in your brain to like, you know what, fuck this, let's go. At all, like any given Sunday, let's
Yeah.
go. That's the kind of mentality that you must have if you want to
If you wanna get in this game, right, yeah.
It's a rough sport. It's a rough
Okay.
sport. It's a rough sport.
So okay, all right. So after college?
Yeah.
You moved out of Oxnard.
Yeah.
And then you went to where?
So I was getting a little bit fat. I got a job for this day, so I was just like cruising around in my lunch break, and I saw this MMA shit. Like, what the fuck? What's this like kickboxing and jiu-jitsu stuff? Like, what the hell is this stuff? So I go into this gym. It's called the Shark Tank back in the day. And,
It's still around?
Yeah, no, that's not.
That's local or
No,
LA
it's in,
or
it used to
LA?
be in La Mirada
Okay.
and out there by Los Angeles. I was looking around like, boom, and this is when I knew this sport is for me because it was very non-racial. Like,
Right.
yeah,
Yes.
because you're non-racial because I saw this skinhead looking white dude holding pads for this black dude that said Black Pride on the back of his fucking thing. You know, like, god damn, you guys wouldn't last in the prison. But they're like they were holding pads for each other, just like, you know, the white dude was teaching the black guy, and you know, like stuff like that. So like, you know what? I think this is something that I could get into because he was kicking the shit out of it hard.
Right.
And after they're done, the coach Freddie said, "Hey, kick this bag really hard." I go, "Man, I come from karate. I could do this. I could kick that shit. I kick the shit out of this motherfucker, right?"
Yeah.
And you know, like, mind you, this is almost 15 years ago, where the bags were like, you know, boxing bags are just like halfway, but these were Muay Thai. They were super long. Like, I could do this. I could kick this really hard, and I kicked it as hard as I possibly could, and it didn't make a flinch. I'm like, god damn. And my coach Freddie just like, here, this is how you do a real Muay Thai kick. And he bent that bag so bad. I was like, what the fuck? I want. Here's my credit card.
Here's my credit. You want to learn this shit?
Here's my credit card. Here's my credit card. Here's my credit card. And I was like, I'm in. And then this fucking bastard. And I love Freddie.
Shout out Freddie. Shout out Freddie.
Yeah,
he's still around.
Yeah, he's still around. He's actually, you know, he's in a bunch of music videos and stuff like that now. He asked me like, "Hey, before I sign you up, he has a deep voice, like, hey, are you a gang member?" I said, I'm in a fucking scrub. Do you think I'm a gang member wearing scrubs? Like, are you kidding me, dog? Like that, but yeah, I am. I was like that. I'm just kidding. So that's when I knew MMA was, you know, mixed martial art was for me. So that's when
We'll talk about that first time you took a punch. How about that one? In the MMA world, well, how were you able to differentiate sport from fucking regular passion? You know, someone punches you in the face, but you're ready to take their head off. Now, you're doing it in a sport.
So
what was it?
When I first got my, you know, I've been getting punches my whole life, like, you know, like karate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I never got hit by a dude that was super strong and like knew exactly what he was doing, completely doing. And you know, boxing gloves, you have these 16, 14 ounces and everything. And this guy was, you know, getting ready for a fight. I said, "Hey, you wanna spar?" I'm like, "Dick, this is my second day." But okay, you know, like whatever.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. Why not?
This guy punched me so hard, like, this is my second day. You just hit me as hard as you fucking can. Like, what the hell?
You're
like that? Yeah, I was supposed to go easy. I'm like, oh my god.
Like, hell no,
hell no. But you know,
Ain't no
and
easy
that's
way out.
and I think that's the differential between like someone that wants to do this and someone like, I just saw this. Because once you get a beating like that, most people is like, you know, I'm done. I don't want this. This is too much.
That would probably be
I'm over this.
Yeah, they're like, yo, man.
But you know,
I don't think I should be taking these kind of punches.
Well, yeah, but I told myself that, like, I'm done, and I've been doing it for almost 15 years now.
Hey, you know what? What's that saying in jiu-jitsu?
What's that?
Black belts or white belts that don't quit?
Yeah. Jiu-jitsu is not for everybody. I'll just put it this way: if you were to get your it's cool. So,
what do you
It's a
mean?
beautiful art, though.
No, what do you mean by that?
Jiu-jitsu is
Well,
beautiful
before
art.
you say that, you went from karate and then you're like MMA, but talk about like chop up like your disciplines. So now you're talking about jiu-jitsu. So what do you know?
Okay, so my main thing is I'm always gonna be a striker. I'm always gonna be a striker. The main thing is
Scrap.
meaning
You're
like
about
I know
to
how
kicks and punches.
I know how to fucking in Spanish chingazos or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I'm ready to motherfucker. Any given Sunday, I'm ready to fucking go. Anything go, like punching, kicking, elbowing, kneeing, because.
And that's more MMA and karate and
The mixed martial arts aspect. No
That's
one
more-
discipline.
that's more kick-
It's all
it's more
combined.
kickbox. I mean, it's more stand up type of fighting because you know my style of MMA is it's not. I never wanted to be a fighter. I never really wanted to be a fighter. I always wanted to protect myself and protect those loved ones. And that's why I never became like I got into a bunch of amateur fights, one loss, whatever. But my main focus in learning this craft is always to protect myself and the people that love me. And that's never been,
It's for self-worth.
For self-worth.
Self-worth.
Self-worth and self, you know, you guys know, like how many times I was like, oh, I could go crazy because Stefan's here. You know, like, okay.
I feel like that all the time. We were just out this past weekend, and I felt like that. You know what I mean?
I've never felt like that ever.
Yeah, whatever. So, you know, I think that's always been my thing. Is it's always like protect my loved ones, and make sure that
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. So I never, yeah. So that's always been my style. But
Okay. And you do know jiu-jitsu?
yeah.
Because I got a story to tell you about that, but tell them about what do you know in
jiu-jitsu. Like, okay, so
and what is jiu-jitsu for anybody that doesn't know?
break
the
it down.
old
if you don't know
Break it
jiu-jitsu, jiu-jitsu is a Japanese form. It literally means the gentle art.
Gentle.
The gentle art. You know, it's a submission. It's making sure people go on the ground. But everybody says like it goes on the what is it called? Jiu-jitsu is like everybody wants to. If you get into a fight, it'll end up on the ground.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you
the
know,
crazy
it's like
thing about
seven.
jiu-jitsu, see, I come from a wrestling background,
Yeah.
and going on your back was like
That's-
the number one thing you cannot,
Cannot
do.
do, yeah.
Whereas in jiu-jitsu, going on your back is your first defense.
Yeah, you're pushing me to the you're pushing me to the finish line.
Yeah.
Like
Yes,
take
yes.
me to the ground, please.
Yeah.
You know,
Right,
you're
right.
taking me
Bring me
to
to the-
Right, right.
finish
So
line.
it's
'Cause that
derived.
action happens right there.
Yeah.
It's derived from judo, and then one of the guys went over to Brazil, right? That's why it's Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Brazilian jiu-jitsu. There's a Japanese man. I believe his name is Komura or I don't know. He was he owned the business, and one of the guys he did businesses was the Gracie, a Brazilian businessman.
Yeah.
So he said, "Hey, you know, thank you so much for helping me in Brazil. You know, is there any way I could teach you? You know?" He said, "Okay, I want to teach my son in judo." And one of the kids, Hilo Gracie, was a weak human being, and
Shout out the Gracies.
yeah, the Gracies, and he modified Japanese jiu-jitsu into what
What
is
we-
now
what
is
we now- Brazilian
now.
jiu-jitsu.
Their main thing is like the smaller man can take the bigger man down using jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, and then we could go into like how then we saw
Always,
UFC and we saw you
Here-
know what I mean, like these smaller guys.
I always want to
tell
fuck
them
up a
about
big
you.
fool.
So
But tell them about
That's
you.
joy.
So what's your background in jiu-jitsu, man?
I consider myself more of a catch wrestler. Like it's a English style.
Esai Maeda. And by the way, the guy's name is Esai Maeda.
Yeah.
Gracie family.
Yeah, the
as
Gracie
well.
family. Yeah, the Gracie family. So I'll tell you something about when I first saw jiu-jitsu. It's kind of ironic that I say this now, but whatever. So everybody's telling me about like this UFC, this Ultimate Fighting thing. It's like,
Yeah.
Horse
The
Gracie,
real
yeah,
deal.
the horse-
Boxing's dead.
Yeah, Horse Gracie. Like this is the first time I heard the Portuguese don't pronounce their R's; they pronounce with H's. Like, like what the fuck? Horse Gracie. What the fuck? There's no H's in that shit. So it's kind of ironic that I say this, by the way. So when I first watched it, I was like, Horse Gracie beating these guys up, and my first
was a
thoughts.
beast.
Yeah, my first thought was like, I'm not going on the ground playing touch butt with any of these motherfuckers. I'm not.
I hear you, man.
I'm not doing none of that. Reason being is like, motherfucker, I'm from Oxnard. Motherfucker's gonna stomp my head while I'm trying to
Yeah, we
show.
ain't playing like that.
we ain't
We
playing
ain't
like
playing
that.
like that,
And
yeah.
vice versa.
Well, you used to always tell me like, man, jiu-jitsu's cool and all, but if I got somebody in a triangle, his homeboy's kicking me in the head.
Exactly.
It's still-
Exactly.
yeah,
It's been like that.
What the hell's the
yeah,
point of it?
what's the fucking point of that? Like I'm getting stomped while I'm doing like a freaking Mate Leon or it's like choke and shit. Like I'm getting stomped out, right? And you know what? And for some reason, I guarantee if a motherfucker was doing that to me, there'd be kicking their head, Or unless we do like the old gentleman agreement, 1-on-1, hey, come on, let's go 1-on-1. Which is kind of bullshit because it's like a 50-50 chance. Like I ain't gonna let any of my homeboys get stomped out by some dudes. Yeah, no, so anyway, so when I watched the first UFC, like I'm not touching that. I'm not going on my underwear and
Fucking
fucking
around
around
like
like
that.
that. I'm
Wearing
my
a singlet.
pajamas and shit.
I
Like
don't
I'm
know,
not
look
doing
like
that
you in
at
a
all.
bathing
I'm not.
suit.
Yeah, bathing
no
suit.
feet in
I'm not
my
doing that
face.
shit. But then I watched UFC 7. That changed my life completely. The dude that won it, his name was Marco, and check this fucking cool ass name, Marco, the King of the Street, Hua.
Hua.
We played that on the
right?
video game.
And this motherfucker, I was like, holy shit, this is what I'm gonna do. He leg kicked that fucker so many times, so bad. I'm like, what the fuck?
Was that the one where the dude just kind of
Yeah, I just leg kicked the
fuck out of that
just
dude.
like 90 times. I was like, oh my god, like I fell in love.
And you know what? That was something that you never see in a fighting kind of sense. You know what I mean? Like, this motherfucker kicked the shit out of his leg where he can't even stand anymore. He can't stand on the leg.
And to me, that was like, all right, that's how I'm gonna submit motherfuckers. Like I give
break
up.
their legs.
Yeah,
down,
just break their legs.
I mean?
And I'm like, wow, this is the sport for me. I'm gonna do strike. Yeah,
on the Instagram. Yo.
So that's why I said to myself, like, I'm always gonna be a kickboxer. I'm always gonna be a kickboxer. Right. I'm gonna learn how to stand up because I'm not playing touch butt with these motherfuckers at all.
Yeah. Little did you know, the touchy butt is where it's at.
But here I am now. Here I am now doing the damn thing.
That was weird.
Fucking now I'm a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, catch wrestler, and I'm like, I guess I'm a master at touch butt. So whatever.
Catch wrestler. Break down catch wrestler because you know what I mean. I just come from the traditional collegiate wrestling and so catch wrestling.
Catch wrestling is like basically it's a form of submission wrestling. It's a submission. It's a no gi. You don't have the top. You don't have the komotos, and you just go at it with them. You do the most dirtiest stuff to people. Like you're trying to break their legs. Basically, you just break their legs,
pop the joints, break the
everything,
legs,
neck cranks, everything that's illegal.
Everything that's regularly illegal.
Very illegal in jiu-jitsu, where like jiu-jitsu frowns on leg locks. Catch wrestling all day, whatever. Break their legs.
Wow, that's wild. That's some advanced wrestling.
Yeah, some advanced wrestling.
My biggest thing was like a half Nelson.
Yeah,
a lot of one of arm bars and stuff like that. Now,
I
could have went even deeper. You know what I mean? Crank that head. You know, instead of going with the half Nelson, I'm coming around full and I'm choking the shit out of you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's just a whole other story.
So I mean, it's like I said, like I tell people, like you could do jiu-jitsu and catch wrestling and any kind of submission art and never touch MMA, but you can never do MMA without submission wrestling or jiu-jitsu. You can never
jiu-jitsu.
You need that ground.
You need that ground. There's like
you wouldn't be considered MMA. You ain't MMA.
Yeah, like let's just put it this way: there's black belts in Brazil that don't know how to punch. But they'll strangle the shit out of you, your family, your cousins, your aunties.
And they could take a punch.
They could take a punch, but they wouldn't know how to throw a punch. They wouldn't know how to throw a punch. So always think about it that way. That's why I think jiu-jitsu will last longer than MMA because you could do that till you're 80. You could do that to your 80s. You know, you don't need to take a punch. Where kickboxing and MMA, our shelf life is around like 40.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like 40 years old. CTE, stuff like that.
The body can only take so much.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, I think that's one of the things.
Yeah, so I have a story about jiu-jitsu with this guy, right? I have a couple stories, actually. The year was like... The problem when we were younger, and one thing that Stefan did not say is that I think that had he had the option while we were in high school, and maybe even a little bit after, to be classically trained in anything, he would have done it. The problem is we were broke all the time. And we had no money, right? But I do remember... a couple instances. This guy was insane. I mean, you look at him today, and like, I'm super proud of the man that he has become. Because if you would have told me that he would have become as successful and as poised and as intelligent and well versed as he is today, back in like 1997, I'd be like, you're fucking crazy, tripping.
This
motherfucker.
Because, like I said, he used to call me over just so I could punch him in the stomach, which is super weird. But,
don't believe that shit though.
Okay, so we were. I think it all happened around the same time. Some guys were doing work at Stefan's house for his parents.
Oh, God.
And the guy was talking about like he knows kung fu,
praying mantis,
the old school Wu-Tang, like
mantis.
fighting tiger,
that Chinese kung fu,
kung fu, right?
Chinese
boxing. And then that just like sparks something in Steph. Said, "Oh yeah, show me what's up right now, right?" And they're like, I don't know, they're like, they were like plumbers or something.
Yeah.
He's oh yeah,
Salinas, you fucked up Salinas.
You know, they were doing the crouching tiger stuff. And then they're like, oh yeah, you should come to my school. It's in Camarillo. Check it out. All right, cool. So he calls me up. Hey, fool, roll with me. It's all right, I'll go with you.
No. Before the reason being that I got invited to that school is at that time I was like, you know what? Remember shoot wrestling?
Yeah, shoot
I said, you know
boxing.
what? My shoot wrestling versus your fucking praying mantis.
Yeah.
And we were at it. We were at it in my front house.
Yeah, he
Dude,
called him out.
it's a
He
game
called
of
him out.
style.
Yeah, it's a game of style.
Mind you, this is like all derived from shit that Stefan has watched.
Right?
There's no like
No
no
formal
basis
training.
behind it. He's on my fucking shoot boxing versus your crying tiger praying man.
Right.
And then so we go right in Camarillo, and then he's like, oh, that's cool, whatever, right? And so when we gonna go at it? and he called out.
Give grown men, motherfucker.
Dude, he called out the dude that freaking sent him over here. He went out with him, fucked him up. He went over some mid-level, like whatever belt, fucked him up. Then he called out the Grandmaster. And you know
You
what?
want some, old man?
Yeah, and he
No.
and he was the same thing. He's like, you know what? My shoot boxing versus your whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And Stephen had already ran through a couple dudes, so like from a cardio standpoint, he was
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
very tired.
Yeah.
But he held his own against this dude. And like I
He's
said,
a
there was
fucking grown
no
man. Wow.
nothing, right? Like no training whatsoever,
Yeah.
no real training. And then, you know, UFC hit big, and we always used to watch it. And then, you know, there was Pride, but then all the underground Japanese stuff, right? Sakuraba, or, you know, all this stuff.
Sakuraba.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Wasn't he the shit?
Yeah, and so we went. Actually, there was one school here, and it was like the next day. Hey,
Yeah.
let's check out this jujitsu fucking school right here in South by the old
Chris Sanders.
You know, yeah, wherever all the industrial area right there
Yes.
by McDonald's,
Oh, word.
and
By Statham. Right?
yeah, stay them.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then we went over there, checked it out. I didn't do anything, and we're more talking to him. And at the time, it was so new.
Yeah, really
right.
new, yeah.
The guy was he had a business and he was training people in jiu-jitsu, but I think he was a purple belt, and that doesn't really exist. I mean, purple belts they teach, but they don't like run their own schools. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But you know what I mean. It was so. He had to go to L.A. like to Huntington Beach. Train with the Gracies, then whatever he learned, he came back.
Yeah.
Hey,
To
but you
share
know
the
what?
knowledge
But he had the
type thing.
patch. You know what I mean? He had the patch on the door.
got jumped
you
in.
know what I mean?
Stand
Gracie,
fight.
he was
Like a
full fledged.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh yeah, this is dope. You know, we seen like all these fools. You know, whoever that big fool was, that you know that original fucking Brazilian top team guy. What's his name?
Nogueira,
Yeah, Nogueira fucked up that big old black dude, right?
Bob Sapp.
Yeah, Bob Sapp, and that was big news. And I was like, fuck, this jujitsu shit's for real. And then we went, and he was all, yeah, come fuck with us. It's $200 a month.
For like two classes, like two
I'll fight you for it.
like two classes, like two classes a week.
Yeah, it
like,
was like, hey, you could come like on Mondays and Wednesdays at 3 p.m.
The fuck
Yeah, $200.
1
or
hour.
whatever. I was like, you are tripping.
What the-
fucking tripping.
It ain't that tight.
I'd rather watch TV. I'd rather watch TV.
And so I remember too, when you were going to Shark Tank, you had some fights.
Yeah. I had a couple fights. I had a couple
Yeah,
fights in
Love
there.
that. Let's speak on that.
Couple fights. Okay, so fucking take. I can't believe saying this.
He's still shocked about
Yeah,
this
I'm
one
kind of shocked.
story.
So okay, so I got Shark Tank. I was like MMA. I was doing all kinds of stuff. And says, hey, my coach goes like, hey, want to fight? And I go, okay. When? 3 weeks. Like I'm like 200 plus pounds right now. I'm like, okay. So I did it. Like I didn't know what I was
Why
doing.
not?
But,
Take on the challenge.
so before you say it, I'm gonna say it. So I came out at the ring. My first thing I did was a freaking head kick. I head kicked it. I tried ripping his head off the
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
Right
Oh,
off the
yeah.
bat.
I was there.
bat, like
I
off
did
the
it.
bat, like I'm, you know
It
what?
might be on YouTube.
Yeah, it's not on fucking YouTube because I deleted that shit. So
Took the right.
yeah, I took the right step for that one.
is
But
that.
anyway, so boom, I tried head kicking him in, and he was like, boom. I was pretty much out of shape. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, right? So
You just went for it.
You just went for it. But did I lose? Yes, I lost. But I lost in a decision. So which is whatever.
Hell yeah.
Whatever. So then I got so my second fight I got pissed off, like fuck this shit. I'm gonna
Can't do
fucking
it
go
again,
ham
yeah.
like this motherfucker. Like I was like that's one training camp that I went crazy on. I called in sick for work to make sure I trained.
Yeah.
So 45 days. I was like, you know what? When's the next one? In 2 months. My coach was like 2 months. I'm in. Fucking sign me up. So for a month and a half, I just went ham. Maybe I called in sick a couple times just to train. I did all kinds of craziness, and I redeemed myself. Like the next fight, I called all my friends because I know I was gonna win. Fuck this! I'm gonna
fuck this dude.
Fuck this! I'm gonna rip this motherfucker's head off. So, 45 days for 45 seconds worth of fucking ass kicking. I beat him in the armbar, and was like, you know what? Fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore.
Why
No,
not,
that's
man?
not true. No, that's not true.
Yes,
No,
yeah.
that's
No,
not
it fired me up to go even harder. 45 seconds. I just tapped them out.
Bosh.
Yeah. So
Hey man, that 45 seconds is
Fuck.
like half of a basketball game.
Yeah.
If you're, hooper or something.
Yeah.
You play half a game, you kind of winded. Not really. You can still go.
yeah, I
45
think
fucking hardcore
I think
wrestling and fucking
if y'all still have MySpace, it's on my MySpace account. But that's how long ago it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that so when I realized that Stephen, I already always knew Stephen was legit. So he's talking about fights that were sanctioned, you know what I mean, early, like late 90s, early 2000s. He's talking about fights that were sanctioned by different organizations or whatever, but he already did his fair share, like on the ground too, like in real fucking life.
Yeah.
But so I knew he was for real. But when I knew he was for real, is that we went to Vegas and there was like a UFC showdown. There was like a UFC fight.
Yeah.
We're walking through Hard Rock Casino. The problem was Stephen was trying to train for a pretty big fight,
Yeah.
but he ended up not doing it because we went to Vegas, messing around, drinking crazy. You know
Life
what I mean?
happens. Life happens.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? There's a
yeah.
lot
So-
more important things,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but then we're walking down, like we're contemplating paying fucking $25 to get in the pool club, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to drop that cheese. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we'll drop $150
he's like, but we're
on
gonna
black.
Yeah, he's gonna fucking play blackjack for you. Don't want to play. We're getting an argument, right? And you hear this
Good
deep
old
voice
days.
come out of nowhere. Steve. I look around and shit, and there's this Goldberg looking motherfucker with a fat old chain.
Yeah.
And he was training for the UFC. He was like an undercard.
Yeah.
He's like, whoa, fucking Steve, what are you doing? He's I'm just partying with my homeboys and this and that. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So that was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, he knows what's up.
Yeah.
Certified.
So it's a small community. At that time, it was a very small community because everybody has to train each other, and it was a very raw. Like you gotta understand something. Basketball, football, and all the major sports are 100+ years old. MMA in general is maybe 25, 30 years old.
Very young.
So
sport.
yeah, it's a very young sport, and it got really popular within like 10 years ago, maybe 10, 15 years
Yeah.
ago. So
True.
Your coach is one of the originators.
yeah,
Your
yeah,
coach
yeah,
now.
yeah. My coach.
Talk
my coach,
about him.
My coach Eric Paulson. This guy.
Shout out Eric
yeah,
Paulson.
this guy.
Eric Paulson.
Yeah, my coach Eric Paulson. So here's a funny story. They always ask me, "Hey, what's a good jiu-jitsu school? What do you look into for a good jiu-jitsu school?" And I usually tell them check out the size of the coach because your body type, will he'll be good at the things that
Yeah.
you'll be good at because if you're short, tall, you generally want to pick up,
limited to
like
it.
and the second was your where he's from, like who did he get his black belt from. And the third one, I always tell them check out the atmosphere, check out how cool the students are, like how cool are they, right? And the person asked me so why did you pick your school? Oh, because I picked the baddest motherfucker I could find, and that was him.
Yeah.
I don't care, my coach is like 6 feet tall. I'm like 5'7". He does things I can't even do to this day. So, but my coach Eric Paulson, he's the first American champion to win from a Japanese organization, which was Shuto. He was a light heavyweight champion.
And that was like the 80s.
The 80s, early 90s.
Fuck, yeah.
Yeah, so he was a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, head of the game, right?
Yeah, ahead of the game. And he has so many stories that has a gang of stories about the Japanese organization because over there in Japan it's more of like a show. Over here it's like a sport, you get tested, you get there's
For money,
there's regulations, there's thing. But in Japan it's more like a TV show where
Oh, it's like super.
like
yeah, that's why they're like they don't frown upon steroids because it makes
They're
a
like
better
larger
show.
than
Makes
life,
everybody
you know what I
makes
mean?
everybody
WWF
makes
shit.
everybody look bigger.
That's wild.
It makes so. But yeah, he's a great man. Have no from white to black. I'll get my white and eventually my black to him, and then he's one of the he's basically my second coach, my only second coach. So I've been with him for almost, I think, 10 years, a little over 10 years. Yeah. So the loyalty is innate in him.
Yes.
Yeah, so
That's it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
You are you gonna do anything? How old are you?
I'm 39.
Old enough.
That was the only question. That was the only
you
question.
tried.
Wrong answer.
Yeah, wrong answer. But
Are you trying to do any more fights?
no,
I mean, you
no.
haven't in a long time.
No, I haven't. Shit. The last fights I ever had was in like 2014. I went like four fights.
Nice.
One knockout. The rest I kind of won, and then I lost two. So I was like, forget it. I'm over this.
You won.
So I won.
You won
I
on
won the
yeah,
street
yeah.
basically. I won the street. So
Yeah.
You haven't done any jiu-jitsu tournaments.
No.
right?
In 2014, I got second in the world. The catch wrestling tournament.
Wow.
So
Nice.
not the world, like the tournament. I got second.
Yes,
I got
right.
second. Because I was fighting at heavyweight, like these motherfuckers, like these.
right.
I'm like, dude, I'm 5'7". These
Motherfuckers
motherfuckers 6'3",
yeah,
6'9".
that ain't
You know,
fair.
What the
it's a
fuck?
trip at like all the UFC fights. They have like wrestling tournaments or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Right before for like amateurs to go there, you should
Yeah.
just
Grappling. Yeah.
stay on your grind and
Yeah.
fucking just kick some motherfuckers in the head.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah, just kidding. Yeah.
an opinion.
No,
you know
but
what I mean?
but people who do MMA or do any kind of martial arts, they're the most coolest people you'll ever meet. Like even
They're
with the
not-
UFC,
yeah, they're not
even if
fucking
the
boneheads.
UFC, you go look at UFC, everybody's like cheering, high fiving each other, but you'll never see a physical altercation where like football, especially soccer,
Unless you're a movie.
They're fucking
motherfuckers
McGregor.
going
When
at
I
it.
jumped out of the fucking ring the last
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
After he
Well,
busted
That
up
was
Conor,
that's
he fucked up Conor,
WWF
and he
shit.
just-
That's
That
why.
motherfucker jumped out the ring like flying fucking bat.
Ever been to a boxing match in Vegas?
Yeah, like I mean, they go
Or
at it.
like a black versus the Mexican.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But like, yeah, you go to any UFC fight, everybody's freaking cool. Everybody's cool. Everybody's
yeah.
cheering their,
Well,
obviously
like a
everybody's cheering.
brotherhood,
Well, yeah. Well, when we went to that fight, what was it GSP? You're like, you know why nobody gets crazy in this place? Because just pretend everybody has a gun.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like
Yeah,
trained.
Yeah,
everybody's
everybody's
trained,
trained,
like,
everybody's
trained or something.
trained. Like,
So nobody's
everybody-
gonna disrespect.
Yeah, I mean, they'll talk shit, but that line is
That-
not.
that's
The line's
machismo.
not
I mean,
crossed.
fuck
Yeah,
it.
there's too much.
You're a
there's too
fucking
much.
fighter.
Yeah,
You know what I
but
mean?
then I also watched the freaking De La Hoya Mayweather. Fucking, it wasn't like at the fight, but it was in Vegas at one of those like whatever you call
Well,
it.
everybody,
when they play the thing.
everybody thinks they
shit
could,
was gonna go
yeah.
down.
Well, then everybody thinks they could freaking box
Yeah,
too. You know what I'm
fucking
saying? Everybody
fans,
like,
right?
I'll throw some fucking blows right now.
Fucking
Throw
fans.
some blows right now. Fuck that shit. Like, no, not everybody thinks they could box. Just put it
Yeah.
that way.
Oh yeah, everyone has their opinion of it, but
I shadow
That's
boxed
it.
in my
Yeah,
day.
shadow box,
Exactly, man.
stuff like that. So
like it goes back to what you're saying. It's like the instinct that everyone has. You see combat sports. You're watching combat sports. You feel it too. Like I'm in the fight with you. When you
Yeah,
talk about this
I'm a
stuff,
man.
I'm seeing through your eyes, and I'm with you on this. You know what I mean? Like I remember those days.
yeah, it's innate.
Yeah,
It's innate in all of us. It's innate in
Yes,
all of
it's
us.
a man shit.
Not even man shit. Even little kids. Little kids go at it.
Everybody,
Every
just
little
just
kids.
human. Yeah, fucking.
My chain's mouth.
The instincts. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? The human instincts of
Yeah.
it starts off as defense, but now you
Or
can learn how to use
strike,
your offense
yeah.
and get
Yeah.
through.
Bully.
And
I want to
now-
be a bully.
Yeah, so
In a sense,
whatever.
You're not even.
Ever since we were younger, Stefan has he asked me to roll with him and like go with him to different places or whatever, and he used to always try to really talk to me into doing something. If he's like, "Hey, fat ass," you need to start.
It's like couple therapy.
Yes.
But
Brother shit.
here's the problem. Like, I there's no other person in this world that I've gotten into more fights with other people with, right? I don't know, and I guess what I'm
Your
trying
brother.
to say is that Stefan was he was a little bit of a wild card growing up. That's why I say, like, if you tell back in the day, if you told me he is man day, I was like, man, I don't know if I believe you. And nowadays, big ups to you because you're like, now you tell me stuff like, I don't want to fight because I know what I can potentially do to that other person, or I don't know what the other person is capable of either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
you know how it
really
is to
look
get
at-
fucked up.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I mean, like, okay, so check this out. So my last fight maybe 2, maybe 3 years ago, right? And I was at the club, And generally, I kind of do have like a mean looking face. I'll be honest with you. I got my eyebrows.
right.
I
don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
So
you're a very handsome man.
Soft. I'll hit this too.
You
You
have
know
very kind. You have very kind eyes.
Yeah, kind eyes. Right?
I mean, that's just if you ask me.
Yeah. Well, so check this out. So I was with one of my buddies, and he said like, "Hey, Steph, let's go talk to those girls." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Let's go hang out and talk to them." And his name is Jeff. Jeff, there's like a force field. We're halfway talking to these girls, and there's like a force field that stopped his face. Like, I can't do this no more. I said, you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna try to talk to these girls. I talked to him. So I talked to him.
Yeah.
I talked to him, and I said, hello, hey, how are you doing? How you doing? Like, blah blah blah. We got the groove on. Talk to him, like whatever. And she goes like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I said, "Okay, cool." But this is thank God I talked to the Filipino girl, because a Filipino and a Mexican girl. Thank God I talked to the Filipino girl because the dude's boyfriend was right there. Like, oh, okay, cool, thank God. So she goes like, "Baby, I gotta use the restroom." So I went to the restroom, and so boom, this motherfucker straight up like went up to me, and he was a big dude. He just wrapped his hands around me. I said, "Hey, Holmes, me and you have a fucking problem. I'll meet you outside." I'm like, what? What the fuck? And I'm thinking to myself, like, dog, I've been doing this shit for. I know how to fight. What do you know that I don't know that you are so willing to go hands with me?
Strapped up.
Yeah. Like, what do you know? What do you know? I've been doing this. I've been doing this for a long time. I know how to punch and kick and all that stuff. Like, what do you know that I don't know? So I got really scared. Like, oh shit. Like, I don't want to get a fight. Fuck this. But he was determined to fight me.
Yeah.
He was determined to throw
big ass foot.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, fuck, there's cameras here. If I beat up this person, I might get in trouble.
You're
This
professional,
and that, right?
yeah.
So I said, okay, cool. So I gave my watch, my phone, my wallet to Jeff. This is not gonna not stop. This dude is determined. He's determined. So I said, oh, fuck, all right. To be honest with you, I really wanted to fight that guy, but like, just see where I'm at. But so we got out of the club. This is morning one. He goes left, I go right. Like, boom, I'm out of here. I don't fight. I don't fight. And he came up to me like, "Hey, let's go, let's fight. Let's see what the fuck." Like, dude, I'm like, dude, I don't want to fight, man. You're fucking so much bigger than me. Like, dog.
Like, what the fuck you thinking?
Yeah, like,
thinking,
like,
what's wrong with you?
Yeah, so I go behind the fence, and he goes through the fence, and I stick out my stomach like, I can't fit. This is your warning number 3. Like, I can't, like behind the, like I stuck out my stomach, so like I can't fit. This pendejo straight up called his, like, so I'm with my friend Jeff. I'm like, boom, like there's dudes on the other side, like they had their shirts ready, they're ready to go, like, what's up, big, like that, and like there's two of them, and I'm like, what the fuck? They're ready to rock and roll. They're ready to jump. Yeah. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, like this is gonna get down. This is gonna have to get down. And Jeff is like, he's a small dude, right? So like this guy's gonna get jumped. Yeah. And I look to my corner. This guy charges at me with like overhand right. And then that's when I knew, like, this guy, you are fucking retarded. Yeah. You are, because I seen punches all day.
Yes.
This guy, the punch was the punch was so slow. We gotta finish this podcast. I gotta gone home.
In fucking
took a shower, and his punch would be halfway to my face. That's how like, dude, you have no business doing this shit, dog. You have zero business. So I'm like, you fucking.
It just reminds me of that one YouTube video of that dude, same kind of situation in like a parking structure, and the dude. He leg kicks him. Yeah, he leg kicks the home.
That was.
Yo.
What did you do?
And then double leg takes down, and then bang, zonk, he's out because it's on the concrete.
Yeah.
And when he did the double leg takedown, bang, back your head, I'm out.
Yeah.
And
So
just like, dude, don't fuck with these kind of guys.
Yeah, don't like. But, so, anyways, his punch was like half to my face. Like, dude, I'm already having breakfast, dude. Like, fucking shit. Right?
Same kind of shit, right?
Yeah, same kind of shit. Look, so, oh my fucking God, you have no business what the fuck I'm doing, right? So, I said I gotta let this motherfucker out, like, just to let him know. So, this may be self-incriminating. This was in Sacramento. Okay, so I Sacramento, somewhere, I don't know, fucking care, right? So it was in LA, but anyway, it was in LA. So I saw it, and he swung. I'm like, are you kidding me, dog? Are you kidding me, right? So I said, all right, gotta lay this fucker out. Right hand, left hook, grabbed his fucking head and lead him.
Right hand, left hook.
Yeah, I saw it pull right
and
knee.
all of a sudden the training paid off. Right?
Yeah, no.
In that moment
no,
right there,
but here's the fucked up part. Here's the fucked up part.
hit him with a combo.
Like he was like his face is all flat. Like, his like skin coming out.
Fucking pussy on
and
his
right,
face.
right. You'll love this. I did a double to look at my homeboy, like, because there's two dudes like on this guy, and at first he was like, he had his hands, trying to stop these motherfuckers. Like, dude, right when I turned, I saw him, his hands was up, like he's like, and he'll do this. He's trying to push him. Go ahead. Go ahead. And I'm like, come on, let's go. And it's like, no, and then the cops came. And,
Like a karate movie, dog.
All of them. It's like
Bruce
golly,
Lee,
like
dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the cops came and said, what happened? And this and that. Oh, nothing. It's just whatever. It's just he fell. The old school. Like he fell in the knob. So
Don't fucking
yeah.
snitch.
So we're gonna go back. Yeah.
What's the saying? The larger they are, the harder they fall.
Yeah.
Or something.
But
Some shit
I mean,
that.
like I said, like that kind of stuff is like it's a learning lesson to him and to myself. Like it's a learning lesson. Like, don't be such an asshole. Like people are generally
ain't fucking
nice.
high school. This ain't high school and
people who
shit.
fight are generally the nicest people in the world. You get
'cause
laid
they know
out.
they can-
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
they know that they could fuck somebody
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
but they also know that people that don't look the part can mess you up too.
Yeah.
So always beware.
Now it's bad.
And that's
Like,
that goes
is
to
it really
respect.
worth it? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Is it
So
really worth it?
and I think this is like one of those. It's a learning lesson for him too. As like I hope you, motherfucker. I hope you fucking learn.
Yeah.
If you're watching this,
Yeah.
I laid your ass out. Look at me. I did that
He's
to
all,
you.
hey, round two.
Round
He's probably
two,
been
motherfucker.
training since
yeah,
the next day.
I hope you've been training because you're still not gonna fucking fuck this up, though.
See,
Look at
don't
you.
see you
No,
bringing it out.
anyways,
of him.
so to make a happy ending to everybody, fucking, they left. Everything was cool. I went back to the club and got her cousin's number.
Yeah.
I took
Hey, you got the number
I got the
still.
number. So
Yeah.
Well, I'm
did
glad they didn't come back.
I
with guns and knives.
did I ever fucking call? Hell no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been set up.
Yeah.
Well, the last couple of fights that I've been so fortunate to be with Stefan with, his last words to these guys, I told you not to mess with me.
I told you.
Like I gave you 5 chances
Yeah.
not to go. And I told you
That's
not to
great.
mess with
You
me.
know?
No.
Yes.
The thing is to get away as far as possible.
No,
but once
no.
they got you,
No.
you're back to the wall. You gotta
Okay.
do what you gotta do.
No. Okay, so to touch on that, I think it's the Oxnard in me, like to be that much of a fucking asshole. Like
Underdogs. You know?
yeah,
Underdog.
no, not even no, not that part. That's the underdog, but the sociopath in the Oxnard motherfuckers is like when you're laid out, when you're fucking in pain the next day, you want to look at yourself like, dude, I could have avoided this shit.
Yeah.
Always.
I could have avoided getting my ass kicked by a fucking Filipino dude.
Yeah.
I'm so stupid.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I never want to fight. If I don't have to fight the rest of my life, thank you.
Amen.
Right.
Amen to that.
Thank you. But
Fucking never want to get
no, like
Don't even
I
touch
love
it.
watching
Don't even
fights.
touch
I
my
love
face.
combat sports.
but
fighting's not where it's at.
but like as they say, violence is always an option.
Well, no. Wait, no.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Violence is not the answer.
Yeah, no.
I think the saying goes, for real, violence is not the answer.
Yeah, but guess what, motherfucker? We're from Oxnard.
It's always an option.
It's always at any given
Maybe the last
motherfucker-
resort.
Yeah, it's any given Sunday. It's always gonna be there.
Yes.
So
We're professionals.
yeah. So we're all professionals now. So it can't be fucking trying to punk people like, hey, you want to fight? No, none of that shit. But
No.
Never.
but it's the card is there.
We're men.
Never.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm so fortunate that you have left that wild stuff unscathed.
Oh yeah, thank God. Like, cause I'm generally a nice
Oh,
guy.
all of us,
Yeah,
actually.
we're generally
Oh,
nice
yes.
guy. You can't have this many fucking friends for this long. If
Being
you're
a-
a nice guy, or
yeah.
at least like, if you're a fucking asshole, but you're that type of asshole
Yeah.
where your friends still like you. You can't have this many friends this long. I know you motherfuckers. What, almost 20 plus years. I know you for longer, you know. So, you know, I think it's just be kind. I think with MMA, it's self-preservation of your loved ones, and that's the basis of everything I do in MMA. Is
And you told me that
yeah. You know, you want to protect your loved ones, especially now that we have daughters, or I have, you know, we have kids. You want to make sure that you're there. You want to make sure that your children know that Daddy, I feel protected. And because you know it's a self-esteem kind of deal. Self-esteem for your kids. Like Daddy knows how to protect me. So you know, that's always been my basis.
Yeah, it has always been his basis because for as long as I've known him. No, let me rephrase that. For as long as he's been training somewhere, right? I was like almost tired of it. Like, Dan, you need to go somewhere. You need to fucking train. Like, I can't have your back all the time. And,
if I can't fucking do a triangle log, I can't have your back, man.
I only got 2 hands, 2 arms.
Yeah.
He's all, you might think you have hands, and it's gotten you this far, but you know what I mean. You got to. And I was like, okay. And he was telling me, he was like, man,
always learn.
There's a school, and it's headed by some Pinoy guy. I think you'll like it. It's really good. Badass motherfuckers over there.
Yeah.
At the time, it's not called it anymore, but it was under the Brazilian top team flag, and I was like, nah, I'm cool. And then we just so happened to move like down the street,
literally
like,
down the street.
Yeah. He's like, dog, you're down the street. Try it once.
Yeah.
Let's just put it this way. I'll go with you.
Yeah.
And he's all, you know what? If anything, Sophie, my daughter, she's 10 now. She could do it. Something that you guys can do together. Yeah, something you guys could do together.
Yeah.
Is it? And then I finally mustered up. I said, you know what? All right, whatever. I know I got hands, dog, but we'll see what happens. And then, and so we go. Steph, my daughter goes, and it was cool. She liked it. And then Stephen goes to me with his class. And the school just had gotten done with a tournament, and they're giving the medals out and bigging up.
I sit there for like 2 hours. And shit.
We're talking. No, but here's the thing, though. I was gonna do the first class just to appease my friend.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was just like, okay. But then the teacher started talking. Dude, shout out to Professor Michael Lansing. He started talking. And he talked just like me and you.
Yeah.
Right? He was like, he was like, you know what? We could have won this, but those motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Like, the motherfucker rolled right here, rolled them up, but, the judges were all fucking.
Let's just put it this way. He talks like one of the homies.
One
of the homies that got their black belt.
Yeah,
let's just put it that way.
You know what?
Name one of the dudes here in Oxnard, and imagine them getting a black belt.
Yeah. And so I thought, you go to a martial, because I did, Taekwondo, Taekwondo,
boxing.
Yeah, and it was like, they talk like they talk about like respect, right? Like respect, and you go in there. So I thought like, okay, we got to bow. It's a respect thing. It's loyalty. It's all this stuff, and you talk right, you act right, you're respectful, this and that. But
Fix
then he comes out. Parents, everybody, don't matter.
Yeah.
He was like, you know what I mean? He was motherfucker this, roll that.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I can get behind that. I can get behind that, right?
Like I said, it's this teacher. It's always the teacher, the vibe with the teacher.
And then what really resonated with me is that he was talking about, it just so happened, I don't know if it was supposed to be or whatever, but he was like, when I got into jiu-jitsu, I hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
He was like, I was rock bottom. And I'm a bottom feeder too. We all are, right? We're all fucking bottom feeders. So I was like, man, he's like, I hit rock bottom is the only thing that fucking saved me. I was like, man, if you talk like that, I can get behind that.
I would fall for that shit.
Yeah. But then this fool doesn't even do like the cardio drills. He's like sitting at. He thinks he's like better than me. But I guess when you go
by the way, I hurt my foot. Like I just broke my fucking foot. So
no, and then and so
FYI
and so when he rolled up there, I guess if you come from different school, everybody tries to fuck you up. And I don't know if they bucketed me. I don't know if they bucketed me in that whole thing because he trained, but I didn't. But I don't know if they caught that part.
Yeah.
Man, I got tossed up like a rag doll, dude, like for an hour. This is the hardest thing I've ever done. I was like, I'm freaking breathing for dear life. I don't know what to do. There's a guy. He was like 130 pounds wet.
Right.
Maybe. I was like, okay, finally, I get a little break.
Motherfucker.
Hell no.
I got this.
Hell no. He's a badass fool.
Yeah.
And
man.
you know what I mean? That was very, very, very humbling.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, like they said, jiu-jitsu humbles you, but at the same time, like with jiu-jitsu, the loser fucking wins. I mean, there's no loser. There's only winning and losing because you're gonna tap the motherfucker out, cool. But if you lose, I mean, if you get tapped out, okay, maybe that shit didn't work. Maybe putting my arm there didn't work.
Yes,
so
yes.
in
You
jiu-jitsu,
don't
and that's why
lose
it's
your
gonna last for a long time, is because you're always gonna learn. You're either gonna get a W, or you're gonna learn.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no thing, and I think with jiu-jitsu in any wrestling or submission wrestling, it's always like that. It's like it's like play kill. I'm gonna play kill you. Like
Like
I'm gonna
possum?
yeah.
Kinda
No.
like-
Like if here, I'm gonna choke you. But if I don't let go, I could kill you.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's play
It
kill.
only
It's
takes
like
a few
play.
seconds,
Yeah,
you know, you cut off the air, it
tap,
takes just a
with
few
like
seconds.
Fainting and death is a thin line. And
So
shit.
I think that's why like people who like some of my dear friends are from my school because we fuck each other up before, and that's why people who are jiu-jitsu, they're gonna be friends for a long time because you're playing how to kill each other. Like
And
I'm
then
gonna,
when I didn't kill you
I'll make
many
sure
times,
I'm,
though.
like 2 inches,
Respect to
2
that.
inches, 2 inches, and 5 seconds later, you're gonna have surgery in your arm if I didn't stop you.
Fuck, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Playing those
you're
games,
gonna
twisting
yeah. So
around
that's
the
why
arms and shit.
that's why like you become a band of brothers because you've
I
been through
get it, too.
that kind of shit where like dude that motherfucker. If you think about it, this motherfucker could have made me
Yeah.
paralyzed.
Yeah.
This motherfucker could have broken my leg several times or broken my wrist. So, that's why I think jiu-jitsu will always be, or, submission wrestling will always be a band of brothers where, like, everybody's going to be really cool.
And when I
Yeah.
see you on Instas too, you're fucking up the homie or whatever. It just seems cool. Like,
Yeah, we're all
you
right.
got me.
You got me.
Goes right back to
That's
the
right,
thing.
you know,
You want to throw down too.
Yeah,
Shit, you
yeah,
get
so,
that little
yeah.
urge.
Yeah, we'll tap, you know what I'm saying?
That's respect.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
Uncle,
I don't know
mate,
nothing about it.
mate.
Yeah.
But but with your school, let's just go back to this school. Yeah, he was getting ass kicked, but everybody in that fucking school went fucking ham on me. Like,
Oh yeah, they're trying to.
because you're from another
yeah, from because I was
like
like,
the
yeah,
outside
yeah,
shit.
like-
Right there,
and
yeah,
you know what?
outside.
I came in that motherfucker. I'm from Oxnard. You know exactly what you fuckers are gonna do.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna play nice. No, we're not gonna fucking play nice, motherfucker. We're not gonna fucking play nice at all. You're trying to fucking thing, but but that's to be expected. But
Yeah.
there's always gonna be there's gonna be hatred or something like that, like dislike.
No,
but
yeah,
you'll always be
competitive.
Competitive.
competitiveness.
All
Yeah,
competition.
but at the same time,
Yours.
but at the
Yes,
same
it's all
time,
competition.
it's fucking respect.
Yeah.
You tap me, I'll make sure I'll be the first one to high five you. I tap
Yeah,
you,
yeah, what up?
I'll be the first one to say thank you so much because you're always gonna learn. You're gonna win or you're gonna learn.
shit.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
asshole.
You got me.
Where like
Yeah.
like in
So like I said, I'm
basketball,
a
like
wrestler.
basketball or football, like fucking I scored this motherfucker. I got you. So
Oh yeah, they flaunt.
Word.
They flaunt all day.
They like yell in your face.
Yeah,
ah!
but yeah,
After a dunk, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Fuck
so-
you. Yeah.
So yeah, it's all about like I think with people who are band of brothers, you in jiu-jitsu or in like any kind of MMA shit, it's a band of brothers. Like you're gonna think like
Speaking of your band of brothers, man,
Mm-hmm.
you be flying around the world. You're going places, and I seen you in Brazil.
yeah.
3:00 in the morning, our time.
Yeah.
You're with a band of brothers. You're
Problem
out
that you're still
fucking
awake.
wrestling and
Yeah.
doing fucking jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Like all right.
What
That's
other
one of my.
places?
That's one of like one of my things in life. Like you have to have some kind of passion or some kind of something. And if your passion is good enough, you'll always have friends. Like you like like the underground, like the Kush. You always have friends around the world. It's DJ. You always have friends. Fortunately for me, it's jiu-jitsu. Like
Oh, a
there's not
beautiful
one
art.
place in the places I've been to that I have not either caught a school, everywhere. Like
You're all over the
yeah,
place,
all over
bro.
the
I
place.
see
Like
you,
Mexico City,
Mad
fucking
folks, yeah.
fucking
yeah, you've trained around the world.
Oh, yeah, I
that's
trained
what
around.
I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you did Fairtex in Thailand.
Yeah.
Talk
Thailand.
about that. What is
Wow.
that?
So I wanted to be the best martial artist I could possibly. And one of the things that you have to go to is the roots of any martial arts. So the roots of my
you ain't
particular.
gonna learn it on Saviors.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Kempo's and fucking Flores Brothers have always been there.
Yeah.
But they
Right
always
there by
just-
the-
even
Yeah,
there anymore.
yeah,
Hughes
yeah,
is
yeah.
not even
Fucking
there.
learn
You're
no
not learning shit from those
motherfucking-
motherfuckers. So yeah, so my
Other
thing
shit, you know what I mean?
my thing is always to like I always wanted to go to Thailand and Muay Thai was really big. It is the national sport. So like, and I consider myself a Muay Thai kickboxer.
Why not?
So I went there and they said, hey, there's a camp. I said, I didn't even ask how much it was. It's like, okay, sign me up. This is my vacation.
what's
This is my
the
thing.
exchange rate?
Yeah,
There's
this
a camp
is
out there
what
you
this
can be able to train.
yeah
like,
this is
fucking, they'll work with you.
yeah, this was my 30th
their battle?
30th birthday to myself. I was there for I think 2 weeks, two and a half weeks of just straight
Sick.
training. So it was just straight training. It was twice a week. It was like you're in a fight camp because Fairtex, it wasn't in Bangkok. It was in Bampli. Bampli is maybe, let's say, Ojai. Ojai was pretty far.
Right.
And motherfuckers, like, they don't have cars. I mean, at that time, they have cars, but they have little tutus, like, where it's like driving a fucking goddamn scooter.
Yeah.
From here to
That's all
Ojai.
around
Yeah, I'll
the
take
place,
it.
right?
It'll take
It's
forever.
Like in mopeds. and
Yeah, like
shit.
little fucking mopeds. I could
Yeah.
walk faster than these
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, exactly.
So I went there, and the people were super nice. Like, the people were super nice, but they're like fucking 5'2", 5'7", 5'2", 5'5". They're like tiny little
That's like
motherfuckers.
the sun be shrinking
Yeah.
them. You know what I mean?
And-
like raisins.
And these kids had like fucking 45. Motherfucker, I have less than 7. All you know, you 10-year-old,
funny
you-
for
yeah,
rights.
you 10
Motherfuckers are
yeah,
funny
you
for rights
10,
and shit.
14 years old, like they had, they had like 40 fights in
Sugar
between.
kings.
I'm like, oh my
Straight
god,
up.
and
Reborn
yeah,
hard.
Like I was at 200 pounds at one point. I said, hey, go spar the 135 champion. I was like, I got this motherfucker. I got this motherfucker. I got this guy. And it took my soul when he's smiling.
he's
At-
ready.
Yeah,
he's
like
ready.
he's
He's
smiling.
ready
Like,
for
I'm,
you.
I'm like hyping myself up, and this guy's just like smiling, like I'm gonna fuck up this American.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fuck up
that's it.
and
He's too slow.
And
He's too
all
slow.
right, yeah. And then this motherfucker did get me. I was like, that was like one of the worst beatings I've ever had.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah, and it's a camp, right? Like you
it's a
stay
camp.
overnight.
Yeah, it's like a. It's
How
like
They're
long-
a,
just
how long
training.
was
That
it?
if
Yeah.
it's a camp, that's
yeah,
Like,
like
it's in the
wow.
woods.
it's in the
training
woods.
to be a
Yeah,
kid,
it's a
kid.
Like you're staying in like a hut.
yeah, no, yeah, it was like
but
a
like boot camp.
yeah,
Kinda
it's
like
like
in the movies,
It's like
you
a
know
fight.
what I
It's like
mean?
a.
Yeah.
It's a.
Kid Kalufa.
Yeah, it's a building, but they had like houses, like little rooms, dormitories, and they had the rings and they had everything in there. It was like one-stop shop. You basically go there to is your fight camp. You had nothing else to do. You had no distractions in life. Like I said, it was away from the big city of Bangkok.
Yeah.
So I was there I think 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. And it was just straight. It was straight hard Muay Thai. It was hard Muay Thai, and the humidity
I watched
was
documentaries on
ridiculous.
that
It was
shit too, yeah.
ridiculous. It's actually my school is actually in a couple of documentaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ozzy Osbourne's kid went there.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
no
he
way.
was there.
Yeah,
He was there.
Jack
He
got fucking
Jack-
slammed
yeah,
down.
Jack
No, no,
He
he
went on
got
like
jumped.
He was
adventures
there.
fucking-
He was
yeah.
there. I think he was like 2 maybe 3 months before or after I was there.
Word up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you went to Brazil too, right?
Yeah, I went to Brazil.
Just that was like a month ago.
Fucking
How long
Blanca.
ago?
A month, maybe
It was like a month and a
yeah,
half
a month,
ago.
a month ago or so. Yeah, my thing is like like I said, always go where it's born.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, so I always wanted to go to the Brazil, and just check it out, see what's going on, see what's really good. And the Brazilians over there, it's to them it's just like cardio. It's
What's
just-
their distinct style? You know what I mean?
Like,
the Brazilian.
the Brazilians,
jiu-jitsu.
they-
what defines a Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter when you're out there?
the Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighters, they attack from the top up, from the hip. They're good at neck. They're good at choking you and taking your arm home with you.
Okay.
My style is leg locks. I love
you're
leg
on the
locks.
you're on the bottom half.
Yeah, the bottom part. I'm a catch wrestler, like I said, by nature. So I like hitting legs. I like shooting legs. But
Because you can't stand up if you don't got no legs.
Yeah. They
have no legs.
they
Yeah.
told me no leg locks, no heel, no leaping. And
need to stand.
and,
Yeah,
and
the wrist, though,
now that
yeah,
you did
and
the
then
wrist.
and
you
then
can break
I-
my wrist,
yeah.
but fuck with ankles. No, I can't do
no,
that.
but the thing
a
is
toe
like
lock.
I told myself like, okay, cool, I'll work on my top game, I'll work on my thing. And that was like the biggest mistake in the world. Like it's like being a high school all-star, going to the NBA, trying to compete with these NBA players.
Yeah.
I had no hope.
Kid with
I had zero hope. These guys were super cool. Muito obrigado. Like, tudo bem. Like, they're talking to me like real cool. But it says,
Showing
hey,
you the style.
time to do some porrada. Time to do some porrada. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. It was a switch.
Culture clash. Like what the
God
fuck
damn.
did
Like,
I just fucking get myself
these
into?
dudes straight try ripping my arm out. Like, oh my God. Like, dude.
But like you said, it's lessons. It
it's
makes
lessons.
you better because you know you know what.
Sometimes I
those guys.
tapped a little bit, like I tapped out a little bit
too
too late,
Or too late.
and I was like, "Fuck!" That motherfucker took my arm
You
home.
need to do it earlier. It's
Yeah,
like
I
just
did.
learning while
Like,
you're
I didn't know
small,
where-
like,
yeah,
learning.
yeah,
You're
I mean,
not trying to
there's-
break
like
each
like
other
I
and
said,
shit.
like I said, there's like levels to this shit,
Yeah.
and to be honest with you, I wasn't on their level, but it was good to learn. Like,
No, you gotta learn. From
Yeah, you gotta
those.
learn.
It's like playing a video game.
And they
You always
respect
put it
you
on
so
hard.
much.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
that.
yeah,
You know what I
You
mean?
can
Like,
beat that shit on easy and be like, yeah, got it.
But here's the Oxnard in me, the sociopath part.
Here it comes.
stab them.
No.
Breaking
I could have gone to any fucking school. Any school in Copacabana, in Ipanema, I could have gone to any school. But the school that I chose was the home of the wrist locks. Like they call that school the mouth.
The mouth.
Or the mouth,
What that
because
mouth
when
do?
when you get wrist locked, you can't you know you can't.
You're fucking
So-
double
so-
up.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
you
so
know.
Stefan was making
You can't.
you
can't
basically
basic-
pole
pole
motion.
motion.
Yeah, like
You can't-
he was lubing the pole.
Yeah, you can't. You can't satisfy yourself because your wrist is broken. Basically, that's why they call it the mouth. 'cause
Lose-lose
yeah,
situation.
it's a lose-lose. So
I've never
basically-
heard that before.
Yeah,
That's fucking great.
because when if you ever hurt your wrist, it's pretty much worthless. So you can't do anything. You can't do this shit. You know?
What's the most basic wrist lock there is? What's the first one that they teach you when you get in there?
the
Because we all know if it goes this way, you know what I mean. But is there like
some
way
just
to
straight
get into that?
Basically, you want to put your their pinky to this part, your radius muscle. So it
that's
goes like that.
That's your intention. Your intention.
The
is to have
basic,
their
the
pinky
basic
go
one.
down to
The
their-
basic one is just go up and down.
True.
But
But it's like strong. when
yeah,
you do it
strong like that.
So
right?
you want to get it at an angle.
like that.
So what
right?
he's doing is that the pinky is going down kind of
So, yeah,
like
like
to
that.
In a 45
45
degree.
45
degree,
degree
towards-
and it goes
towards your wrist, towards your
the other
arms.
side of your wrist.
But
There's the opposite.
Yeah, but there's
the
yeah,
opposite
there's
side. You
these
go the other
fuckers
way,
are
you know
psychotic
what I
too.
mean?
These
Yeah.
fuckers are so psychotic. They told me, oh, just put the pinky here, put the pinky here,
Like
and it's
how?
not like ow
Like
fuck,
fuck.
Jesus Christ, thank
Yo.
you. So, it was a learning curve, and that's the one school I wanted to go to.
Hell yeah. No,
Yes,
what about
sir.
a defense then? For coming down, if you're in the position of being like in your wrist about to be broken, what's your defense?
You tap.
Yeah.
Don't get it in the first place.
Yeah, basically, if
Yeah,
it's
it's
basically
gonna happen so fast. Your
Yeah.
wrist is so delicate.
yeah,
you know?
basically,
It's so delicate.
if you put yourself in that situation, you fucked up.
True. That's true, man. You got to control. You
Yeah,
got-
so,
most
you know,
control,
I mean,
man. Now,
other-
you lose control of your wrist, you're dumb.
Yeah, it's like a stoner's dream come true if you go to Jamaica. You know, that's what jiu-jitsu and Brazil is.
Yeah.
It's like a stoner's dream come true. If you go to fucking,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? If you go to like
Yeah.
Amsterdam or,
Yeah.
or Jamaica, it's a stoner's dream come true. Like, hey, I smoke. You know, you may
Yeah,
have
smoke
smoked.
the best.
You may
Now
have
I go
smoked.
to
You
Brazil,
may,
I fucking wrestle the
yeah,
best.
yeah.
I
You may
I'm
have
fucking
smoked
with the best.
You may have
Yeah.
smoked here, but guess what? I smoke. You know, you probably
Yeah.
smoke weed in your garage, but guess what, motherfucker? I
Yeah.
smoke weed in fucking Bob Marley's house
In a fucking-
in Mount Zion. You know, that's how Brazil. That's how it was for me. I had to go
Yeah,
back.
because you got to go.
That's
to
how I had
the
to go back.
origins.
I
Yeah.
had to
Yes.
go back. I had to go
Mexico.
there. I had to go
Mexico's
there.
another
Bring
spot.
it
that
Yeah,
you're at.
yeah.
Mexico.
Imagine
Let's
going
talk about
imagine
Mexico.
going to Colombia. You feel me?
Yeah.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about the time in Mexico when you're out there.
Mexico. Okay, so Mexico. Which time, dog? Like,
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? You've been around the world and now,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, like there's a lot of different cultures. You know, we're talking Brazilians.
Mexico.
Or
like,
fucking, what about
the
the Orient? You
The
know
first
what
time I went to Mexico was with a couple of buddies of mine.
Not TJ. We're not talking about
No, not TJ. I'm not talking about you fuckers. I'm not talking about you guys. I don't know what the hell. By the way, I don't know what I don't know what you're talking about. But anyways,
Revolution
last
Street.
yeah, I know, right? A couple of years ago, I went to Mexico for like a little carnival in Guadalajara, which was fantastic.
Guadalajara.
And then I looked around. I was like, God, this place is so beautiful. Like, you know, I had to make, you know, I wanted for myself to see what is how beautiful this country really is, because you know most people think like as Mexico is like,
or
you know, like
world,
whatever, like
right?
you know, third world, like Tijuana, Rosarito.
fucking
That's our
right.
mindset. And or the other one is, you know, the coast. You know, like Cabo San Lucas and stuff like that.
Yes.
But where I was
The
from,
Riviera, the Mexican Riviera.
where I was from, where I went was like Mexico, like beautiful people, beautiful
Mexico
food.
City. You
Yeah,
went to
no,
Mexico
no,
City,
no,
right?
no.
You-
You did
No,
go to
that's
Mexico
before. I went to
City.
Guadalajara. I went to
Oh, we were
Jalisco.
talking about Guadalajara.
I went to Jalisco, and what is it? El Chete, and it was so beautiful. It was like the most beautiful place in the world. Like, you know, I have to visit this thing myself.
Fucking
So
admire you so much for fucking going everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm
no
jealous all the
yeah,
time.
and then and I told myself like, you know, I really want to see the real Mexico. So about maybe 4 months later, I said, you know what, Mexico City's calling me. I want to go.
Yeah.
So I went there, and fucking, it is beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful places to go. If you ever have the chance to go to Mexico City, go. People are nice. The tacos, whatever. But it was beautiful. I went to all basically Anthony Bourdain was the one who was my tour guide.
Oh shit.
But
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
yeah,
Tony
right.
B.
Yeah. But the thing is, I went there, and I knew there was a school there, Henzo Gracie School
Oh,
in
shit.
Jiu-Jitsu. So my
Now we're
ass,
getting to the
yeah, my
juice.
ass
Now we're
decide,
getting to
yeah,
the
my
juice
ass like
right
my
here.
ass wants to go like, all right, how much is Uber? Okay, $10. But
Uberto.
yeah, but it took an hour and yeah, Uberto, right? But Uber took an hour and a half because the traffic jam sucks so bad.
Okay.
So my dumb ass decides to go to fucking take the subway. So I'm taking the subway. Mind you,
Take $10.
no.
Underground mine,
Underground
mining railroad.
No, not because of the money situation. Because
No,
it took 2 hours to get there. For the
alternate routes.
car,
Try to find
it took 2
find
hours to get
alternate
there
routes.
to car, but it'll take 30 minutes by subway.
Okay.
So like, okay, cool. Like that was the most scariest thing I've ever done, dude. That was by far the most scariest thing I've ever done, because you know, like, what the fuck? I know zero Spanish. I could barely read English. Imagine me trying to read Spanish. I'm like, Jesus
hear you,
Christ!
bro.
Like, and then the internet was like non-negotiable. Like I don't.
No VPN.
Yeah, no
You're
VPN.
straight roaming.
Yeah,
You're in
I was
roaming
like,
zone right there.
roaming because it's underground. And thank God, like you know, I asked, you know, thank God. I
For the
got
people,
in there,
sure.
got in there. You know, I had a little help. I called a couple people, like, hey,
Yeah.
help me out. So this and that. I had one person talk to the officer. Hey, how do you get to this? And he took me there. So, anyways, I went to the Henzo Gracie, Mexico City.
Oh shit, the Gracies.
Yeah,
Damn, these guys are worldwide.
yeah. The thing
they're
about
the
those
family
guys,
worldwide.
which I thought was very interesting, is that it's harder in Mexico. Their jiu-jitsu was hard. Like, oh my God, you fuckers, you know, legit shit. Like, you know, really legit shit.
Advanced
And
or
they went days on days, and then I realized it was the altitude of Mexico City. That's why their cardio was so high.
Yeah.
So it was a beautiful training session. Shout out to Henzo Gracie, Mexico City out there. So
Hell yeah.
yeah. So
Damn, man, Stefan, dude, martial artist, world traveler, fucking
Winner.
Oxnard native. What? Couple questions.
What's up?
Where's the best place you've been to?
the best place I've been to, the best place I've ever been to.
Well, your favorite, I guess. That's not the best. In your opinion, your favorite.
My local wise, I would say Mexico City. If you ever had the chance, go to Mexico City. Do the damn thing. Just go to Mexico City. Just, you know, check out. Stay at
Dude,
the
I seen you with a hat, yeah, a Stetson
sombrero.
on.
yeah, sombrero.
Fucking,
Yeah, stay there.
Karachi
Yeah,
shoes. Karachi.
Stay away. Let's just put it this way: with Mexico City, when the fucking locals tell you don't go to Tapito, I think it's called Tapito. Don't go there. Don't fucking go there.
That means
Yeah.
go
Listen-
Stay.
I thought that
listen
meant
to
go
the-
there.
Listen to the mother.
locals.
So stay
Listen to
in
the
this.
locals.
You know, as your tourist guide and thing. Go to the Zodiaco, like where the church and the big flag is at. That's where I stayed at,
Dope,
and people are
dope.
super nice. But my favorite spot that everybody should go, because we are all Filipinos, is Barcelona, España.
Oh,
I've been there.
We just jumped to a new country right here, huh?
Go to España.
Yeah.
I trained there too. Which was really good. But if you ever have the chance, because you know we are Spanish in nature, in our
They
in our
fucking
heritage.
conquered us. Fuck
Yeah.
them.
Well, you know what to do.
I went there.
You know,
De basura.
you know what to do.
Basura.
You know what to do because they conquered us. You know what
Oh
to do
yeah,
too.
fucking payback.
Yeah, pay
Payback.
back. You know what I'm saying?
So-
Right, Jocelyn?
so-
Right, Jocelyn? So
I went to there,
Revenge.
and he actually linked me up with a school there that I did not go to. 'Cause I was like, fuck that. Favorite food of all your travels.
Favorite food.
Where's the best food at, in your opinion?
I'll tell you the worst food.
Yeah.
No, don't say the worst.
know the worst.
You can put it out there. Say the best.
The best, the best food I've ever had. The best food I've ever had was this little cafe in Miami.
Wow.
It was
Miami 305, stand up.
ridiculously fucking good. When they say
Goodbye, no.
the conch, have you heard of a conch?
It's a
Oh, that's
show,
the thing.
The
it's
shell that they
Oh,
put in
that's
like
the,
that, like well, I had conch puppy hush puppies. They call it hush
crab,
puppies.
it was like
Hush
a crab
puppies.
that was in
Is
there or
hush
something?
puppies.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, they had this Cuban mix thingamajiggy with chicken and beef. Oh my god, I still think about it.
Jerk. Like,
Oh my god, it was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Cuban? Was that Cuban or no?
Yeah, it was a Cuban restaurant
Cubano.
with their spices. So
Wow, that's very surprising. Miami. I know you've been a lot of places. Yeah. I mean, you never know. Because I always say, dude, the best food. New Orleans has fuck.
no,
You were there just recently?
yeah, I was there.
as well?
I was there
Oh,
recently.
man.
I was there recently.
New
I
Orleans
mean,
just there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was in the garage.
Etouffees.
No,
my shit
but
right
like you know,
there.
like I said, like my favorite was Miami.
Miami.
The second one would be Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
Their barbecue was ridiculous, and this is
Dry rub.
yeah, the drive.
Chicken?
You should put it this way: I paid a guy, I think $200 or $300. This is before YouTube, mind you. This is before YouTube to learn how to make his barbecue.
Yeah,
If you guys
what
are
up?
tasting my barbecue, you know,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
really
You
good.
gotta
Yeah.
let your little
It's good. It's
twang.
good.
Okay.
It's good.
Okay.
So I loved it so much. I had to show him my interior. I showed him I would have shown him my passport if fucking anything. If I could show this motherfucker. So I gave him my ID, my
I need the
itinerary,
recipe.
where I live. They just show it to me. Here's some money.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
That's
yeah.
some good
That's
shit.
word up,
That's
man.
awesome,
Like
man.
I would love to do. We should have done that at Willie Mae's. You ever
Willie
had the
Mae's,
Willie
best
Mae's?
fried
I'm
chicken in
sure
the
we're
world.
just saying, yeah, we're
Best
saying New
fried chicken in the
Orleans.
It was
world.
okay.
What is, you know, but I'm just saying
Okay.
the batter, whatever.
Double
I'm sure
fried,
you can get
Crunchy,
whatever
I
the fuck
guess.
you can get, but-
Crunchy.
Yeah.
The bomb.
You went to
Yeah,
Willie
so
Mays.
good.
You went to Willie Mays in New Orleans, right?
Yeah, I wanted to go to Dookie Chase's though.
It's down the street. It's
I
literally
know,
down the
right?
street.
Dookie Chase.
No,
you know
no,
what I mean?
you want-
Get
you wanna
some-
hear- you wanna
some
hear-
Massa,
bread.
Massa.
You want to hear a
That
fucked
was
up story on that
called
one,
The
John?
Restaurant.
You want to hear some fucked up story on that one? I always wanted to go to that fucking fried chicken place. So I was there last month, right?
Yeah.
Fucking they said, hey, it's where's Louis Mays? It's in
Like the fifth
Third
ward.
ward.
ninth ward.
no, it was Tribeca.
fuck
It's not
is-
Tribeca. What is it called?
What
What is
is
it
it?
called? The fifth ward. Yeah, the fifth ward. Right?
Right there
Yeah,
with
the
that
fifth
mob
ward.
mentality,
Yeah,
right?
fifth ward right there,
It
right?
was there like
And I told the people I was with, hey, let's go, right? It says no.
scrub.
Let's grill. Let's go. No, you know, because I'm a big believer in fried chicken. I love fried chicken.
Yes, sir.
And then
Comfort.
we went over there. I went over there, and thank God none of those motherfuckers went. Imagine 7 fucking tourist-looking motherfuckers walking in the fucking Fifth Ward.
That was us, right?
Fifth
there.
Ward.
Shit,
Did
that
you get?
was us.
Hey, did you get harassed by homeless people? Because I
not,
did.
Not really harassed. But,
No,
you
did
know
they
what I
touch
mean?
you? Like-
no, you see the same car, the same fucking Chrysler 300, fucking around the corner, like a couple
Whistling?
times.
Were they whistling?
They're not even eating chicken. You know, we're out there smoking cigarettes because we just got finished eating chicken. Like, yo, man, that's like the third time that motherfucker.
That's
Is
a
Uber
neighborhood
ever
watch
coming
right
over here
there.
and shit? You know what I mean? But like maybe 2 blocks from Willie Mays, it's a school, so I guess not too
Yeah.
much static.
Yeah,
You know what I
but
mean?
no,
So drugs by the
young
school?
blood.
Yeah, it's like an
the line's
elementary
right
school.
there.
That's a
You know the
felony.
deal.
yeah. So
Yeah.
like that was like the
Codes
most,
of the street,
that was more crazier than the New Orleans is crazy.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
War zone.
and the Uber is
Voodoo
super
town.
expensive.
It's a voodoo
yeah,
town.
Yeah, so.
You know what
That's
I mean?
cool, man.
Lot of
By the way,
culture.
I
Lot
did
of
train
culture.
there too. It's
Word
crazy.
up,
Yeah, I
see?
trained there too. So
Speak on that.
Yeah, I trained there too. Yeah, and
With some
you-
fucking some Bayou Jacks and shit. You know what I mean? Some
Fucking
weirdos
wrestle
that
alligators.
yeah,
wrestling
wrestling
alligators.
No, like I said, like in jiu-jitsu, if you do it, and if you're kind, and if you're cool as
crocodiles.
fuck, and you're willing to do it, then you'll have friends everywhere. You'll have friends everywhere.
Yes.
I had friends everywhere around
That's
the world
so
because of this sport. And
That is so dope.
Everywhere.
No,
Everywhere.
Any
I've been
city,
around the world.
Any country.
yeah, I have friends all around the world.
county.
And how many people could say that?
Yeah.
That this is like.
I just
And then
got
you
like
can go in every
14
spot.
friends.
And,
cool,
and
man.
everyone welcomes you as a friend, a brother in the, like you said, the brotherhood of the jiu-jitsus. I always say
Yeah.
it like that, you know what I mean?
It's all good. It's
I
all
always
good.
say the jiu-jitsus, you know what I mean?
Jeez.
Fight me.
Yeah.
Fight me and I'll show you some jiu-jitsu. But anywho,
Yeah.
The brotherhood. Everywhere
Yeah.
you go in, you step in the door, they're gonna teach you something.
Hell yeah.
Or you're gonna teach them something.
Yeah.
Well, we're always learning, man, and that's a that's a good way to stop or to end this because we're running out of time. But one, that's a good takeaway. You're always learning.
Yeah.
Do you have any parting words, Stefan? Because
Yeah, like the thing about I think that everybody should just be fucking cool, like whatever, because
True.
and do not get into a motherfucking fight because there's too many. I'll tell you a funny story before we go.
Saturday. Tell them about Saturday.
No. Yeah, Saturday. Let's talk about Saturday. Let's talk about
Saturday.
Saturday was ridiculous in terms of like these broads.
Bombay's
Bombay.
nightclub, Ventura, California.
You know what? And the sad thing is, like, these broads were all dressed up, wanting to fight. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you fucking people do not know how to fight. And, if you knock somebody out and just put them in the fucking coma, you're going to fucking jail.
manslaughter.
Yeah, like, dude, stop.
There was a cat fight that ensued
yeah.
over there
Yeah,
that night.
so-
We're all having a great time. Everyone was partying. A normal Ventura night.
Yeah.
Saturday. Friday, right?
So, anyways, to make everything lovely again, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
another day in the office.
Yeah.
You already know.
Yeah. So,
Where can they find you, Pen?
you hit me up on Instagram, Stefan Cayaban. It's my
shit
fucking
out.
name.
Attaboy.
STPHEN Cayaban.
STPH.
CAYA.
Check out his kicks.
Yeah.
Check out his lunches.
Just check it out.
His lunches.
Check out his
Check
working
out
out
the
with
lunches.
Lunches
jeans.
are alright.
They're all right. So
Trust me.
and plus
Get on that.
like I say the most stupidest things is true in my Instagram.
Check out the
Why not?
kicks.
It's for shits and giggles. Anyway,
why not?
hit me up, Stefan Cayaban on Instagram or Stevio147 on Snap, something like that. I don't know.
Hit
buddy.
him up with more questions.
hit
That's
me up
cool.
on
Hey, yo,
DM.
wait, favorite fighter before we go.
Oh yeah, who's your
Who's your
favorite
favorite
fighter,
fighter?
man?
Favorite fighter of all fucking time, Vanderlei the Axe Murder Sylvia
Attaboy.
Attaboy.
from Shootout Box. I actually joined that school.
Silva.
I actually joined that school in LA because of that motherfucker.
He's a bad motherfucker.
Do you have any random facts for the people?
Finding what do you, as in what?
Anything.
Facts.
Something that you don't think people know about, anything, whatever.
Fuck. Ask me a question.
Dolphins try to bone you.
Okay, so if you don't know how to fight, and then you had to fight somebody, what would be your go-to?
Take their back. Take their fucking back.
What does that mean?
Anal.
Yeah. Yes.
That was that shit.
Well, not that kind of, but whatever. No, if you get into a fight, run. If you know you're gonna run as fast as you can. But if you have to fight,
Make sure you're stepping
your
there.
mentality. If you're gonna fight, if you know you're gonna get a fight, there's no way out of it. Always have in your mindset, this motherfucker is gonna take something away from me. He's gonna take either my life, my soul, or something. Because
That's
if
pretty
you
hardcore.
get
Yeah.
no, because you have to understand something. If I kill somebody,
Yeah, your life.
no.
And his life.
If I kill
Double.
somebody,
2
I'll
for
get
1.
I'll get out before. This is why rapists get out. When they say 20 years, you're gonna get 20 years. Rapists, because the victim lives with it.
True.
For life.
The victim, if
Innocent
someone
gets
gets raped, the victim
fucking-
lives with it. So that's why
soulless
the rapist
motherfuckers.
always gets life. So put that in your mentality. Can I allow myself to live with getting my ass kicked? And if the
guess
answer
So
is
you're
no,
more mental. I was thinking
Yeah.
like, what do you hit him with?
No,
like
no, no,
a
no, no,
uppercut?
no, no, no.
Do you hit him with like a kick?
no. What I'm saying,
wagon?
like, no matter if most people don't know how to punch and kick anyways, but they know how to run and they know how to fucking do something. So if someone wants to fight you, put in your mentality that this motherfucker is gonna take away something from me.
Okay, that's
So,
awesome.
That's
Right.
awesome. So,
Awesome.
all right, guys.
Well,
Thank you so much.
Hey, you know what, man? I'm glad you came on.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
still
yeah.
the person that curses
Yeah.
the most, the most. And
Great ass
anybody I
episode.
know, I'm glad things haven't changed.
Yes,
and
yes. Thank you.
we'll catch you again, man.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, cool.
Bye.
Break it down.